All right, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome. Hope you're having a good day. Um, we'll go ahead and get started. So let's start in a child's pose. Okay, so those toes are going to come together. Those knees are going to be a little bit wider. We're just going to send those hips back to those heels, just resting your head down onto the mat, really reaching through those fingers, through those palms, or spreading those fingers out, pressing into those palms, and then pressing those hips a little bit closer to the heels. Just closing down those eyes. And breathing in and out through the nose. Just big breath in and out. Again, big breath in and out. Just continuing that breath, just feeling that big expansion of the belly, of the rib cage, and then feeling that constriction of the core, the rib cage. On that exhale, again, just continuing that on your own. Bring yourself to this space, just letting everything else go. And let's make our way back up onto those hands and knees. So into that tabletop position. So adjust so those knees are right underneath the hips, hands are right underneath those shoulders. Let's go ahead and extend that right leg out, flex that foot, point the toes down. Left arm is going to reach forward, so start warming up through that core. So reach the fingers, reach that heel. Exhale, curl it in, touch that elbow to the knee. Inhale, reach it out long. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, reach it out. Again, exhale, curl and reach and curl and reach. Last one, curl it in and reach. Now we're going to hold, we're going to pulse it. So we're going to lift the hand and the arm up. So a pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower that hand down, lower the knee down to the other side. Left leg extends back, right arm is going to reach forward. Exhale, curling it in. Inhale, reach and curl. Reach, curl, and reach. 2 more times. Curl it in and reach and curl and reach. Here we go. Pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower that hand down, lower that knee down. Do cat-cow. So inhale, drop that belly, lift the chest, lift the tailbone as we look up. And exhale, round that spine, draw that belly up and in as we tuck that chin, looking towards those thighs. And inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest, lift the tailbone, look up. And exhale, round. One more time. Inhale, lift and lengthen, and round. Good, then bring it to that neutral spine. Go ahead and step those feet back to our plank. And then we'll just send those hips up to that downward facing dog. So just take a moment, pedal those feet up. You can sway those hips from side to side if that's what you need. Or maybe just find that stillness. So pressing that tailbone up towards the ceiling, pressing those heels down towards the mat, pushing that belly back towards the thighs, spreading those fingers, gripping those palms, fingertips into the mat. And now we'll inhale on the toes. Then into those knees, look forward, stepping those feet to the top of the mat. Inhale that half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, we'll rise to standing, reach up nice and tall. And interlace those fingers. Let's find the side bend over to that right side. Inhale it back up. Exhale it to the left. Inhale, reach it back up. And exhale, we'll fold. Flat back on that inhale. And exhale, let's plant those hands down, stepping those feet back to our plank. We're going to find the side plank, so drop the heels to the right. Left arm reaches up. We're going to just maybe modifying, lowering that right shin down towards the mat. And lower that hand down, drop the heels to the left. Right arm reaches up overhead. And lower that hand down, shifting that weight forward as we lower. So maybe stopping in that low plank, flipping the toes, lifting that chest up into that up dog. And exhale, send those hips up and back, down dog. Couple breaths. And now inhale on the toes. Bend those knees, step those feet, top of the mat. Inhale that half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, we'll rise. And release those fingers. Side stretch it to the right. Inhale it back up to the left. And inhale, bring it back up. And exhale, fold. Flat back on that inhale. Exhale, plant those hands. Step those feet back to our plank. Heels to the right. Left arm reaches up. And down over to that other side. Then down. Shift it forward as we lower. Inhale, lift. And exhaling those hips up and back. Downward facing dog. And inhale on the toes. Last time through, step or hop those feet top of the mat. Inhale that half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, we'll rise. Bend it to the right. Back up to the left. Bring it back up as we fold. Find that flat back. Exhale, plant those hands. Stepping it back. Side plank to the right. Center to the left. Center, lower down. Inhale, lift. Exhaling those hips up and back. Downward facing dog. And now come onto those toes. Let's go ahead and bend those knees. Let's step those feet to the top of the mat. Bringing those toes together to touch. We're gonna inhale, rise up to standing, reach it up nice and tall, and then we'll sink those hips down super, super low, as low into that chair as you can get it. Relax those shoulders down, keep that core tight, sink into those hips. Good, holding it here. Now, if you're kind of in the middle of the mat, scoot yourself up. So you're at the top of the mat, we're gonna sink those hips down even lower. And maybe a little bit lower. Now we're gonna go even lower. Now maybe you have to lift those heels up a little bit, okay? And then we're gonna roll it on back. We're gonna lift those legs up. We're gonna come into that boat pose. So we're gonna hold it here, breathing, reaching through those fingers, reaching through those legs. If you can straighten them out, ooh, great, hold. Let's go 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna cross over those shins. We're gonna hop it on back to a plank and then moving into your vinyasa. Sending those hips up and back, downward facing dog. Bring those feet together. We're gonna inhale that right leg up. Exhale, curl that knee to the nose. Inhale it back up. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, curl it in, stepping that foot through. Let's go ahead and ground that back heel down, inhaling those arms up into that warrior one. Squaring those hips off, so pulling that right hip back, left hip pulling forward, pressing into that back heel. Okay, so that we're really strong through that left quad. We're not collapsing into that arch, but a little bit more weight into that outside edge of the foot. But now exhale, hover that chest, reaching those arms back. Inhale, send it back up. Exhale, hover. Inhale, back up. Now this time we're gonna hover that chest. We're gonna lift that back leg up into that warrior 3. So squaring those hips off, pointing the toes down, reaching those fingers back. Hold it, find that balance. Okay, now big step back into that warrior 1. Arms will reach up. Now draw those arms down behind the back. Open up through that chest and exhale, folding into that humble warrior. And we'll release those arms as we rise back up, lowering the hands down to the mat. Send it back to our plank. Vinyasa. Inhale, lift. And exhaling those hips to the sky. Downward facing dog. Feet together. Inhale, that left leg lifts. Exhale, curl that knee to the nose. Inhale it back up. And curl it in. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, curl it in. Stepping that foot through. Back heel down. Inhaling those arms up into that warrior 1. Again, Right hip pulls forward, left hip pulls back, core is tight. And exhale, hover the chest, reaching those arms back. Inhale, send it back up. Exhale, hover. Inhale, reach it up. Now exhale, we're gonna hover that chest. We're gonna lift that back leg up into that warrior three, rotating that right outer hip down. Those toes are pointing down, reaching those arms back and opening up through that chest. So palms are facing down. One more breath. And that back foot lowers down, inhaling those arms up. Then draw those arms down, interlace the fingers, open up through the chest, and then exhale into that humble warrior. Now release those arms as we rise back up. Exhaling those hands down, step it back to plank, moving through your vinyasa. And exhaling those hips up to the sky, downward facing dog. One more breath. And then come onto the toes. Bend those knees, step those feet, top of the mat. Bringing those big toes together to touch. So again, we want to be pretty close to the front. Inhale, we'll rise up. Then sink those hips down into that chair. So sit nice and low. But once we're kind of at that low spot, pause it there for a couple breaths. Maybe we sink those hips down even lower. Try and get the heels or the hips as low as we can before we lift those hips, before we lift those heels up. Sit, 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 sit. And then we'll bring it on back into that boat pose. So we've been pausing and holding it for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Cross those ankles. Step it on back. And vinyasa. And exhaling, we'll meet together, down dog. Bringing those feet together, we'll inhale that right leg up to the sky. Exhale, curl that knee to the nose. Inhale it back up. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, reach it up. And exhale, curl it in. Step that foot through. Back heel down. Inhale those arms up. Exhale, hover that chest. Good. Inhale, reach it up. Good. Exhale, hover, reaching the arms back. That's airplane wings. Inhale, send it back up. Now exhale, hover that chest, lifting that back leg up into that warrior three. Squaring those hips, pressing through the heel, reaching those fingertips, reaching through those fingertips. And then lower that back heel down, inhaling those arms up, drawing those elbows down. Interlace those fingers, open that chest, and fold. Releasing those arms as we rise back up. Lowering those hands down to the mat. Step it back to our plank. Lower. Inhale, lift. And exhaling those hips to the sky. Downward facing dog. Feet together. Inhale, that left leg lifts. Exhale, curl that knee to the nose. Inhale it back up. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, reach it up. And exhale, curl it in. Stepping that foot through. Back heel down. Inhale those arms up. Exhale, hover. Inhale it up. And hover. Inhale, reach it up. And exhale, hover. Lifting that back leg up. Find that balance. And then big step back into that warrior one. Interlace those fingers. Open the chest on that inhale. And exhale, humble warrior. Fold. And now release those arms. Bring it back up. Lower those hands down. Stepping it back. And vinyasa. Exhaling those hips up and back, down dog. Get a couple more breaths in down dog. And then we'll come to the toes. Bend those knees, stepping those feet up to the top of the mat. And bringing those toes together to touch. Inhaling those arms up. We'll sink those hips down nice and low. Good, hold it here. Relax those shoulders, keep that core tight, back flat. Drop those hips a little lower, little lower, little lower, and then come all the way into that boat pose. We're gonna add on to this boat pose a little bit. And so taking a big breath in, exhale it out. Now, as we inhale, we're gonna lean it back. So we're just on that low back, shoulders are lifted, legs are lifted, arms reach up overhead. So into more of a low boat. Good, then reach it back up into that high boat. Good, inhale it down, exhale it back up. Inhale it down, bring it back up. We got 2 more. Reach it out long, back up. Last one, reach out long, holding it for 5. Breathe, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back up. Good, now we'll cross those ankles, step or hop those feet back to that plank. And vinyasa. Good, meeting in down dog. And bring those feet together. Inhale, that right leg lifts. Exhale, curl that knee to the nose. Inhale, send it up. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, reach it up. And exhale, curl it in, stepping that foot through. Back heel lowers down. Inhaling those arms up. Warrior 1. Exhale, we're gonna hover that chest, float that back leg up right on that first one. Okay, now the arms can reach back like airplane wings. Okay, or we can start to, you can be a little bit more challenging. Reach those arms back or reach the arms up overhead. Now from here, we'll inhale, reach, exhale, curl it in, crunch. So draw the elbows back, hug the knee in. Inhale, send it back out. Exhale, hug it in. Inhale, reach it out. Get 3 more, curl it in. Reach it out and curl and reach. Last one, curl it in. Reach it back out, big step back. So back heel is gonna be lifted. So a crescent lunge, big bend into that front knee, hips will square off. Really extending out through this back leg. Sink a little deeper into that front knee. And then we'll spin that back heel down, teeing out those arms into that warrior 2. Rib cage is down, tailbone is pulling down. And keeping that front knee bent. Just flip that front palm, reach it up and back. And now we're gonna go right into another balance pose. Okay, so we're gonna reach it forward, lowering that hand down into that half moon. So we want our right hand a couple of, maybe 6 inches in front of our right foot. And then we're gonna float that back leg up, opening up through the hips, opening up through the shoulders, reaching that left arm up. Okay, maybe reaching up so high with that left hand that those right fingers just start to float up off of the mat. Maybe you can even bring the hands to heart center in that prayer position. 1 more breath. And then big step back into that warrior 2. Straighten that front leg, reach that hand forward, lowering that hand to the shin, open up through the chest. So really reach up with that left arm. Now spin that light left hand down, right arm is gonna reach up. Lower the hand down, step it back, vinyasa. Exhaling those hips up, down dog. Good, bring those feet together. Inhale, that left leg is gonna lift. Exhale, curl that knee to the nose. Inhale it back up. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, reach it up. And exhale, curl it in. Stepping that foot through, back heel down. Rising up into that warrior 1. Now exhale, we're gonna hover that chest, lifting that back leg up. So right into that warrior 3. Now start to reach those arms forward. A big inhale, reach, and exhale, curl it in. Inhale, reach it out. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, reach. Exhale, curl. 2 more times. Reach it out long. Exhale, curl. Last one. Extend it out. Curl it in. Good. Then reach it out. Big step back into that crescent lunge. Bending into that front knee, feeling that stretch through that right hip flexor, that right quad. One more breath. Now we'll spin that back heel down as we make our way into a warrior two. The rib cage is angling down, tailbone is angling down. Chest is open, reaching through those fingers. And we'll flip that left palm. Reach it up and back as that right hand just slides down that right leg. Good, now moving into that half moon balance. So reach out the arms, reach it forward, lowering that hand down a couple of inches in front of that left foot. We're gonna float that right leg up, open up through the chest, really reach up with that right hand. Maybe that left arm starts to float up off of the ground. And then we'll take that big step back into that warrior two. Straighten that front leg, reaching that hand forward, lower the hand down to the shin, open up through the chest. So really reach that right arm up towards the sky. And then we'll spin that right hand down. Right heel is gonna lift as we twist, left arm reaches up. And lower that hand down. Stepping that foot back to our plank and vinyasa. Exhaling those hips to the sky, downward facing dog. And one more breath. Now from here, we're gonna start to bring those heels, heels together. Toes are gonna be out. We're gonna bend into those knees like a little frog here. And then we're gonna hop those feet to our hands. So we're trying to lift those hips high and then nice soft landing, okay? Looking forward, okay, kind of bend into those knees, lift, hop, land with the bent knees in that squat position. So it'll be nice soft landing, easy on those joints. Okay, and then from there, hop it forward, get that weight into the hands, soft landing, then hop it back, hop it forward, hop it back. One more time, hop it forward, woo, hop back, and then you can just lower those knees down, sending those hips back to the heels. Ooh, resting in that child's pose. Just a couple breaths here. Okay, now we're feeling pretty warmed up through that core, through those arms. So you guys have that option here, and you can kind of play around with this a little bit if you want to go into a handstand. So you can slide your mat a little bit closer to the wall. Okay, now, this is not the ideal setup, but we'll try it. So you can go, so what I like to do is you can just lower those hands down now, okay, here. So hands are right underneath the shoulders and just kick that leg up. So maybe we kind of go a couple of times here, okay? Or if you even want to do that frog hop up into it, you can. So just maybe a couple times here, maybe switching in the air. So again, this is all optional. If you just want to go into a child's pose through this, you can. Or maybe you find that you can stick and hold, find a little bit of air, okay? Or maybe you could just use that wall as a little bit of support too. So that's an option for you guys if you want to kind of take this up a notch. If that's not for you, another thing we can work on, so putting a little bit more weight into that hand, is going into that crow. Okay, so again, that crow, we lower those hands down. Okay, so crow's kind of a prep for handstands too. Okay, just bring those knees to the elbows. So even if you don't have crow, you can get in this position. Okay, just bringing weight into the hands, making sure those elbows or those forearms are parallel to each other. Those elbows are right over those wrists, looking forward, and then maybe we start to float those feet up again into our flying crow. So again, just play around with it. Maybe it's the handstands, maybe it's crow, and maybe it's just putting weight into those hands. Or if you want to keep doing those frog hops, that is an option too. Right, so maybe another couple seconds here, whatever you feel like working on. So I'm gonna keep working on my crow. And then when you're ready, let's just go ahead and step it or hop it back to a plank. Let's clear it out with a vinyasa. And then exhaling it back into a child's pose. Resting that head down. Reconnecting with that breath, that big breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Come back up to down dog. We're gonna step that right foot outside that right hand. Okay, back knee lowers down. Those hips are pressing forward and down. Back is nice and flat. And then we'll lower down onto those forearms. And keep that back flat. If the forearms are not quite accessible today, you can always stay on the hands and then just maybe bend those elbows a little bit more. And then come back to those hands. Just go ahead and switch sides. And step that left foot outside that left hand. That back knee lowers down. And then when you're ready, start to bend into those elbows, lowering onto those forearms. Nice flat back. Then go ahead and send that leg back. You can take a moment in down dog. And then we're gonna come into a seat. Okay, so for me, I'm gonna sit the long way on my mat. So my heels will stay on the mat, but I'm gonna do a really wide leg fold here. Okay, so flexing those feet, sitting up really, really tall to start. Okay, you can bend into those knees a little bit. So think flexing the feet and then pulling the feet, not pointing the toes back, pulling the whole leg and foot itself back. So you'll flex your glutes to do that. And then just walk those hands forward. Maybe you might have to kind of hold it in a spot. It might be a little bit tight. As you hold it there, you might feel that it releases a little bit. You can maybe bring yourself forward a little bit more. Nice, slow breaths. Nice long breaths. Then bring it back up. We're just going to bring that left foot to, or will be your right foot to your left inner thigh. Lower that left elbow down, reach out right arm up and over, big side stretch. And then we'll reach it back up as we twist. So bringing that left hand across that right knee, sit tall, and then exhale a little deeper into that twist. And then bring it back to center, switching sides. So bring that left foot to that right inner thigh as we extend that right leg out. Lower that right arm down, left arm reaches up and over as we reach for those toes, keeping the shoulders stacked. So we're trying to pull that left shoulder back. Right shoulder pulls forward slightly. Good, and bring it back up and twist. So bring that left hand right behind the back. Right hand reaches for that knee, sit tall and twist. Bring it back to center. So if you need to, spin yourself around. You're gonna lower onto your backs, but just hugging those knees in. You get a little rock from side to side. Now we're gonna keep that right knee hugged in. We're gonna extend that left leg out long. With that left hand, guide that knee across. That right arm is gonna reach out so right shoulder stays down. Take that big breath in and exhale. See if you can soften a little deeper into that twist. And then bring that leg back to center. Let's switch sides, hugging the left knee in, right leg extends out, and twist. And then bring it back to center. Go ahead and hug both knees into your chest as we round that spine, bringing the forehead to the knees. Then we'll extend those legs out, reaching those arms overhead. That full body stretch from the fingertips all the way down through those toes. Big, big reach. And exhale those arms down by the sides, palms will face up, shoulder blades will walk together. And take that big breath in through the nose. And exhale, just open the mouth, side out. Letting yourself completely relax and rest for the next just minute or two. Begin to deepen your breath. Just wiggling those fingers and your toes. Reaching those arms overhead for that full body stretch. Again, fingertips down to the toes. And hugging those knees into the chest. So you gently roll over onto that right side. Right arm, left arm just falls in front, completely resting on your side. And then making your way up into that comfortable seat. Keeping those eyes closed. Just letting those hands letting those hands rest on the knees. And we'll inhale those arms up overhead. The palms will meet. Just bring your hands to heart center. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Have a great rest of your day, a great evening, and hopefully I see you guys back here tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. for just a more of a all levels class. All right, thanks guys. Sorry about that video cut out. I don't know how long that was. Hopefully not too long. All right, have a good one.